So this intersection sits just a little bit east of the state line along Route 177. It is a pure east-west roadway, primary movement, decent amount of truck traffic. It does experience quite a bit of sun glare during those critical moments in the morning and then in the afternoon. And there was not that long ago a fatal incident at the intersection. So this project stemmed from that incident, trying to improve safety, trying to make sure that we could provide an accommodation that would make sure that the side streets could pull out, because there were also a lot of near misses of people getting frustrated that there weren't enough gaps in traffic and trying to pull out from those side streets when they really had limited time. And then with the sun glare, trying to make sure that there was a protection between different movements along the roadway. This went through MassDOT pretty early on, knowing that construction was going to end up being funded through them, so Complete Streets was involved. You can see on the north side here, there is an 8-foot shared use path proposed that parallels the offset alignment of Route 177. So we're shifting the roadway just a little bit to the north to accommodate the roundabout without impacting the raised sewer in the southeast quadrant. There are some wetlands to the northeast that we were impacting to a pretty minor extent. I believe we're under 500 square feet of impact, and we are replicating that. So the project will include, as I mentioned, that shared use path along the north. We'll then also bring in some sidewalk improvements from the south off of Robert Street to cross and make the connection over to the shared use path. The project was intended to be a roundabout based on its perceived level of safety from MassDOT. But once they introduced the ICE procedure, we did also formally go through that process, and the roundabout did elevate as the only or the most viable solution, because a regular signal was not warranted, because the side streets, though they, like I said, have difficulty finding gaps in traffic to pull out, they don't carry much volume. There's a pretty small amount of vehicles coming to and from both of those side streets. So this is the gist of the project. I can also share our most recent design, which shows it in some more detail. So following the design public hearing, which we held a few months ago, there were a few elements that needed to advance. We were originally showing replication for the wetland on the north side of 177, very close to the area of impact. However, there's a bit of mature tree stand here, and it didn't seem like a great trade-off to impact more mature trees to try to get the wetland replication. So instead, our wetland scientists proposed a replication area over here on the east side of Tickle, and that's what we're moving forward with right now. Once we modified the area for the replication, we were also able to make some more improvements to the drainage to bring these areas in and outfall in advance of the wetland. We were trying to make sure that they didn't outfall directly into the wetland. And then as much as we can, we're capturing and conveying to the southwest, where there's going to be an improvement to a swale that exists there now, but we're going to put some kind of check dam type infrastructure in to absorb more of that water before it continues to the west. There was also a parcel in the northwest that developed over the course of this project. So MassDOT fortunately was willing to continue to do survey work and the associated right-of-way through an on-call contract that had started at the beginning of this. So we've gotten an updated survey here and made modifications recently to the terminus of the shared use path to accommodate the not development, but the construction of the home that was built there, their driveway. We wanted to make sure that we weren't interfering with the entrance that they've established for their property. So those are some of the most recent updates. The drainage improvements that followed the adjustment to wetland replication are the final piece under in-house review, and then we'll be submitting the 75% design to the town and MassDOT. With the current schedule that we have on the tip, we're looking at a 90-day review. So we expect sometime in the spring we'll be pushing towards the 100% design. I think one thing that we've been continuing to coordinate with the town and MassDOT is schedule and budget. The town has been doing all of the design work through some initial funding they received through earmark grants. There was an expiration on a portion of that, so they're looking to align more funding. And then the original design that the town anticipated was going to go to 100% design with 3 primary submissions, 25, 75, 100. The MassDOT process ended up looping in a pre-25, usually adds the PS&E. We are currently discussing with MassDOT if they would be willing to accept a combined 100% PS&E, given the progress and the state of the 75. So hopefully we'll have that answer resolved soon, and then we can pin down the final timeline for submissions and directives.